Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Calvin Tobin Show. I am your host, Calvin Tobin. Today we have a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it. Alright, last night we had the Florida Panthers taking on the New York Rangers in an anticipated gruesome matchup. And it started off that way too because they both got quick scores and were bashing each other around. And the crazy thing is that Florida kept it fierce and close, even coming from a back-to-back. That's the crazy thing, is because Florida is such a dominant team, is that they know how to dominate even on nights that they have to play on back-to-back days. And they were starting off strong, like I said, and kept it strong for the first two periods, but the score was 3-2 with the Rangers having the lead. And once that third period started, we were all waiting for and trying to see how this game was going to end, because it was such a crazy, intense game, and we really wanted to know if it was going to end very exciting. But unfortunately, once that third period started, the Florida Panthers' energy really started to deplete, and their energy made them pay for it as they lost 5-2. And that gave the Rangers their 30th win of the season. But even with that loss, that doesn't diminish from what they did in January. And what they did in January was one of the most special things that we have seen in such a long time. And what they did was score 74 goals in the entire month. That is the most goals in a month that anyone has ever seen in the NHL over the last 25 years. The Panthers just cannot stop scoring, and I know they do not plan to stop anytime soon. Now, let's get to the New York Rangers. What the New York Rangers have done this year is even more special, because nobody in this league this year has killed penalties like the Rangers have, because they are having one of the greatest years in that category in NHL history, because power plays is truly their specialty. Because if you ever get in a power play at all, you better hope so that you can hold them back, because they are almost guaranteed to score for how unbelievable and consistent they have been with killing these penalties left and right. And as for what the Panthers and the Rangers have done this season and over last month, we are truly witnessing something special and true greatness out of this team, and it is very, very special to watch. Now, speaking of greatness, the Great Eight is unfortunately not going to be playing in the All-Star game this season due to COVID protocol. And we all know how dominant he usually is year in and year out, and what he does for this game. And one All-Star game, he's an All-Star, so he gets that status, but this ain't going to diminish anything for what Alex Ovechkin has done for the game. Get well soon, Alex Ovechkin. We hope to see you very soon, and hopefully you can come back in time for when the season starts back up over the All-Star break. Now, who likes something new? Because I know we all love something new to see. And what's new to see is the Washington former football team and Washington former Redskins have officially a new name and a new uniform. And their name is the Washington Commanders. Now, it's not the best of names. I'm pretty sure they could have come up with something better, but it is what it is, and we got something to look forward to. It's something to call them instead of saying football team, because we all know that's the lamest thing to call any sports team, because we already know what they are of a football team. Now, speaking of the NFL, Brian Flores made one of the biggest decisions of his life, and what happened is he filed and is trying to sue the NFL for racial discrimination. And it is extremely sad that even in today's age, we are still facing racism. Like, people need to stop. Like, why does it matter about so much color? Like, you're really gonna judge, oh, you're brown, oh, you're pink, oh, you're blue, black, whatever. You, like, seriously, I mean, come on. This is a brand new generation. We have got to stop discriminating or hurting people or disrespecting people based on what they look like. People need to treat people how you want to be treated. That's the golden rule. Treat people how you want to be treated. And the fact that like I said, the fact that we're still facing racism today is very, very sad, and we really need to get this stuff over with, because as long as racism exists, this world will not ever be a better place. Now, also speaking of unfortunate news, the MLB and the MLB Players Association are still very, very far apart from getting their choices and decisions down to a minimal and agreeing with each other to get out of this lockout. Now, now the way it looks so far, it's looking scary that we may or may not have a 2022 MLB season. But I'm hoping very, very much so that the MLB and the MLB Players Association can really figure something out, because this is going to sadden all baseball fans who truly love the game of America's pastime game. Now, we need to talk about something special of what's going on, and that is the Phoenix Suns. They are bringing so much freaking heat this year. It's not even funny, and it's crazy how successful they have been. Chris Paul was the magic guy and missing piece to this organization, because now they are 41-9. They only lost one game in January, and they're still continuing to win while having the best record in the NBA. And they took on the Brooklyn Nets last night, beating them 121-111. And what's even more special about this team is that they have 4 players who can give you 20 points any given night. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Mikal Bridges, and sometimes other players can go off and get you that 20 as well. Because 3 players scored 20 plus last night, and Devin Booker was the high scorer, getting 35 points. This truly might be Phoenix's year, and Chris Paul might actually get his first ring based on how dominant these Suns are, bringing all the heat that they can. Because it has been a while that since I've seen Phoenix this dominant, and this is most likely going to be their most dominant year ever when it comes to the regular season. But as we all know, can they bring this domination? Because with their record 41-9, we're 50 plus games in. Can they stay healthy? Can they bring this into the playoffs and keep this going? Because if they can, Chris Paul has an even bigger shot than last year to win his first championship. And once Chris Paul, if he can get his first championship, his legacy and the way we look at him, his legacy is going to shoot up like a freaking rocket, and Chris Paul is going to be looked totally different as a point guard for what he has done for this game. Because we already know what he's already done for this game and how truly special he is, because he's in the top 5. He's number 3 on the all-time assist list. He knows how to dish out stuff. He knows how to be a floor general. We just want to see him get this ring. And now, let's get into some college basketball. Last night, Kansas, number 10, took on number 20, Iowa State. And this game was the definition of turnovers and defense all night long, as there were a total of over 30 turnovers. There were over 30 turnovers in this game, and Iowa State ended up being a complete steal master, but unfortunately couldn't get the dub. And Isaiah Brockington, this was the final 3 to 5 minutes of the game. He got 14 of his 24 points in the final minutes of this game, scoring 14 straight. And they unfortunately lost 70-61, and their comeback came way too late. And now they are 16-6, but they are a lot better than what their record says. Iowa State's defense is their picture. That's how this team is viewed. Because if Iowa State can just get a little bit more consistent with this shooting, Iowa State limit this year, the sky is the limit for them. Alright, that's the end of the Calvin Tobin Show. Please subscribe to me on YouTube at Calvin Tobin Show so you don't miss out on any sports media. And please follow me on Instagram at Calvin Tobin Show so you don't miss out on any sports news whatsoever.